Thanks so much for joining me. 60 minutes Vinyasa flow class. As always, listen to your bodies. Feel free to take breaks, modifications of the pose I suggest, an extra challenge of the pose I suggest, something completely different. It's your practice. Okay, we're gonna get started in a comfortable seat. Right leg in front of left, or any comfortable seat of your choice. You might close the eyes, or you might bring the gaze to the floor in front of you, soft gaze. Take a moment to shift, find a flat spine, lift the crown of the head. Bring the focus to the breath. Inhale through the nose, fill up completely to a count of 3. Exhale through the mouth to a count of 4. Two more breaths, just like that. Inhale the arms out to the sides, lift them to the sky. Palms might touch, chin might lift. Exhale the hands to the heart. 2 more times. Nice expansive inhale, growing tall. Full exhale, deepening into your seat. We'll be here for 3 breaths. You might close the eyes once more. If you'd like to set an intention for your practice, now would be a great time to do that. Plant your left hand down on the mat by your left hip. Inhale your right arm up and exhale your right arm over. Press into your right sit bone and start to breathe into your right side body. You might bend into the left elbow. You might lift the chin and the chest and the gaze to the right fingertips. Find length in the right side body. Breathing through each rib. Inhale, bend the right elbow, lift the gaze toward the sky. Exhale, straighten the arm once more. 2 more times. Keep pressing into that right sit bone. Inhale, bring yourself up to an upright position. Exhale, twist to the left. Right hand outside left knee, left hand behind you. Growing tall, bringing gaze back past left shoulder. Pulling lower belly back and up. Using your breath to stay where you are or to deepen the twist. Carefully bring yourself back to center. Find eagle arms, left arm underneath right. Cross at the elbows. Palms might come to touch. Lift the elbows, lift the chin, lift the chest. Use an exhale, tuck the chin, round the spine, pull in the lower belly. 2 more times, inhale. Exhale. Inhale, coming upright, opening up the arms out to a T. Exhale, give yourself a hug. Inhale, raise the arms toward the sky. exhale, seated forward fold, press into the sit bones, reach the fingertips long out in front of you. You can gaze at the fingertips or at the navel, it's your choice. Let the gaze come to the fingertips if it isn't already there. Curl the hands in toward the body, bring yourself to an upright position. Let the left leg come in front of the right. If you were in a different comfortable seat, switch up something if you feel the need to. So we can balance ourselves out. Inhale the arms out and up to the sky. Exhale the hands to the heart. 2 more times. Inhale to a count of 3. Exhale to a count of 4. Pausing here for 3 breaths. Coming back to that intention that you set just a minute ago. If you didn't set one then, maybe you'd like to set one now. Let your right hand come to the mat by your right hip. Inhale your left arm up and over, bending into the right elbow, pressing into the left sit bone. You might lift the gaze to the left fingertips. Breathe into the left side body. Find lots of length. On your next inhale, bend the left elbow, lift the chest. As you exhale, straighten the arm over the head. Do that 2 more times. Use your breath. Use an inhale to carefully and slowly bring yourself to an upright position, and an exhale to twist to the right. We're here for 3 breaths. Gently bring yourself back to center. Bring the right arm underneath the left, cross at the elbows. Find the eagle arms. When you're ready, inhale to lift the elbows toward the sky. And exhale to tuck and round. 2 more times. Use an inhale, lift the crown of the head, open up the arms out to a T. Use an exhale, give yourself a hug, opposite arm on top, if you can remember. Inhale, bring the arms out and up. Exhale, seated forward fold, hinge at the hips. Take your time, actively pressing into both sit bones the whole way down. Gaze wherever feels most comfortable for you. Where can you soften here? Where can you let go here? Gaze comes to the fingertips if it isn't already there. Bring yourself to child's pose. Spread the fingers wide. Press into the fingertips. Come onto the knees. Bring the feet behind you and adjust as you need to. Knees as wide as you'd like. Big toes touching. You might rest the forehead on the mat. You might give the forehead a little massage, gently rocking back and forth. Crawl the arms over to the right for a side body stretch. Crawl as far as you'd like. Bring the left hand on top of the right, lock the fingers, cradle the face in between the arms, tuck the chin under the right armpit. Breathe into the left side body and sink into the left hip. Crawl the arms over to the left. Maybe you crawl a little further, maybe you don't crawl quite as far. Bring the right hand on top of the left, tuck the chin under the left armpit. Send the breath into the right side body. Bring yourself back to center, child's pose. The fingers are spread wide, press into the fingertips. Inhale, tabletop. Stack the shoulders over the wrists. Place the knees below the hips and the feet behind the knees. As you press into the fingertips, straighten the arms, let the inside of the elbows reach forward. Puff up the upper back ever so slightly. Tuck in the lower belly. It's your choice if you tuck the toes or not. Inhale, lower belly, lift chin, lift chest, lift gaze. Exhale, tuck tailbone, round spine, gaze at navel. Twice more. Back to center, flat spine, gaze at the left hand. Inhale the right arm high toward the sky. Let the gaze follow the right fingertips. Exhale, thread the needle, bring the right arm underneath the left, rest on the right ear and the right shoulder. You can keep the left hand where it is, or you can extend the left arm long for a side body stretch. Or you can wrap that left hand around inside the right hip for a twist. It might feel nice to close the eyes here. Keeping the focus on the breath, can you soften the face? Let the left hand come back below the shoulder if it isn't already there. Inhale, press into the left hand, raise the right arm, raise the gaze. Exhale, tabletop, plant the right palm below the right shoulder. Take just a moment to adjust anything you might need to adjust, realigning yourself. Gaze at the right hand, inhale the left arm high, the gaze might follow. Exhale, thread the needle, bring the left arm underneath the right, rest on the left ear and the left shoulder. Right hand plants below right shoulder. Inhale, left arm high. Exhale, tabletop. Adjusting if you need to. We're here for 6 breaths. You might find cats and cows at whatever pace feels good for you. You might find different organic movement, letting the torso find circles or figure eights or barrel rolls. It might feel nice to play around with the palm orientation, letting the fingers point toward you, giving yourself a nice wrist stretch. When you feel ready, using an exhale, bring yourself to downward facing dog. Tucking the toes, lifting the knees, reaching the hips up and back. Adjusting whatever you need to adjust, letting the hands be relatively shoulder width distance. Everyone's body is different. Fingers spread wide, and then if you can press into the thumbs and the pointer fingers a little more than the other fingers, you can feel the shoulders soften away from the ears. You might shake your head yes and no, or roll your neck in circles, finding some relief there in the tension that you might have in the head and the neck. If you can tuck in your lower belly and lift your hips a little higher, breathe into the back of the legs and dig the heels into the mat behind you. Find that nice upside down V. You might close your eyes here and just check in and notice how you're feeling. We're here for just one more breath. Feel free to pedal out your dog. Inhale, bend the knees, gaze at the hands. Exhale, let the feet meet the hands at the top of the mat, forward fold. Separate your feet as much as you'd like, bend your knees and drape your torso. We're gonna find a rag doll. We'll be here for a while. You might just let your arms dangle. Or perhaps you find a bind, opposite pinkies to elbows, or hands interlaced at the back of the head. You might just hang out in stillness, or you might find some movement, bobbing up and down or swaying back and forth. Take one last big inhale through the nose, filling up completely. And open mouth, exhale, let something go. Find stillness. Remove any bind you might have. Toe heel the feet directly below the hips. You can put two fists in between the feet for measure if that helps. Suggestion to keep a slight bend in the knees here. Inhale, press into the feet, roll up to standing, one vertebra at a time. Exhale, let the shoulders roll back and the palms face forward. Spread the fingers nice and wide. Inhale, bring the arms out and up, palms touch, lift the chin. Exhale, hands to heart. Close the eyes if you'd like. Say something kind to yourself. Open the eyes, inhale the arms out and up. Let the palms face each other, let the shoulders soften. Exhale, hinge at the hips, flat spine, arm placement doesn't matter. Inhale, come up halfway, flat spine, shoulders reach back and toward each other. Exhale, fold, you might bend your knees. Plant the palms and step the right leg back, low lunge. Make sure the left knee is above the left ankle or even a tiny bit behind it, just not surpassing it. Give the right leg a lot of length back behind you, and then lower onto the right knee. It's your choice if the right toes are tucked or not. Inhale, pressing into the left foot and the right knee, come on up, raise the arms, Anjaneyasana. Stay here for a couple of breaths, softening shoulders. Reaching left hip back and right hip forward. Inhale, grow tall with the fingertips. Exhale, twist, bring the left arm back and the right arm forward. You can gaze at the right thumb or back at the left thumb or anywhere in between. Inhale, bring yourself back to center, untwist. Exhale, plant the palms, frame the left foot, tuck the right toes, straighten the right leg. And then bring the left leg back behind you for a three-legged plank. So you're in high plank with the left leg lifted an inch or two. And just remember that everything I say is a suggestion, it's your practice. Keeping the fingers spread wide, pressing into the fingertips, puffing up the upper back, tucking in the lower belly. When you're ready for an exhale, start to lower down halfway, bend the elbows inward, feel them brush the rib cage. And then come onto all 10 toes, inhale, press into hands, press into feet, upward facing dog. As you exhale, roll over those toes, lift your hips, downward facing dog. We're here for a full breath. Lift your right leg high, three-legged dog. And then stack your right hip over your left, scorpion dog. Inhale the right knee a little higher to the sky. Exhale, stay here, bring the right heel a little closer to the left glute. Inhale, come back to that three-legged dog, straighten the right leg. Exhale, step the right foot through, low lunge. Taking time to adjust if you need to. Plant the left hand below the left shoulder. Inhale the right arm high, simple twist. Stay here for a couple of breaths. Reach the right hip back. Reach the left heel back. Grow tall with the right arm. Exhale, plant the right palm, frame the right foot, low lunge. Bring the weight into the right foot, kick off with the left, standing half splits. You can bring your hands to the mat or to a block or two, or maybe one hand or both come behind that right calf for an extra challenge, or maybe hands come to heart. Keep the focus on the breath. Maybe there's a micro bend in the right knee. Maybe there's some ankle rolls in the left ankle. And then very carefully, let the left foot meet the right, forward fold. Let the hands come to the mat in front of you, and then just pedal out the legs, bend one knee and then the other. When you're ready, inhale, reverse swan dive. Exhale, hands to heart. Beautiful practice, everyone. Inhale the arms high. Exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift as you inhale. Forward fold as you exhale. Left leg back, low lunge. Lower onto your left knee. Inhale your arms high. We'll be here for a couple of breaths. Soften your shoulders. Reach your right hip back. On your next exhale, bring the right arm back, the left arm forward. Keep the shoulders stacked over the hips as best you can. Gaze at either thumb or anywhere in between. On your next inhale, unwind, come back to center. As you exhale, plant your palms. Tuck your left toes, straighten your left leg. Reach your right leg back for a three-legged plank. You're welcome to just find traditional high plank if you'd prefer. Lower down halfway. You're welcome to lower down all the way if you prefer. Inhale for your upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale for your downward facing dog. Nice big inhale to a count of 3. And full exhale to a count of 4. Left leg high, inhale. Scorpion your dog, exhale. We're here in scorpion for a full breath. Lift the left knee. Bring the left heel toward the right glute. On your next inhale, straighten your leg. And then as you exhale, step your foot through. Inhale for a simple twist, left arm high. We're here for a couple of breaths. Left hip back. Right heel back. When you're ready, plant the palm. Let the weight come into the left foot, the left leg. Find your standing half splits. And then just take a moment to decide where you are at today on this side. Finding a modification if you need. Taking an extra challenge if you need. Keeping the focus on the breath as best you can. Slowly, forward fold at the top of the mat. Bending one knee and then the other, if that feels nice for you. Inhaling to come up all the way, press into the feet. Exhale the hands to the heart. And listen, inhale for chair. Bend the knees, sink into the hips. You can keep the hands at the heart if you'd like. You can raise the arms if you'd like. You can bring the arms out into a cactus if you'd like. It's your practice, it's your chair pose. Let the weight come into the heels so much so that you can lift the toes and maybe gaze past the knees to make sure you can see all 10 toes. One last inhale. Fold forward as you exhale. Halfway lift, reach the crown of the head forward, reach the tailbone back. Forward fold, you might bend the knees. Right leg back, low lunge, and listen, once your feet are in the right place for you, come up for high lunge. Squeeze the thighs together, hinge at the hips, and raise the arms. And take a moment here, soften shoulders, square hips. Sink into your lunge. Inhale to grow tall. Exhale, left arm back, right arm forward. Gaze wherever you'd like. Inhale, unwind, come back to center, high lunge. Exhale, fold, plant palms. Inhale, three-legged plank. Make your way to downward facing dog. Move with your breath at your pace. Lift your right leg high. Stack your right hip over your left. Straighten your right leg. Step your right foot through. Plant your left palm below your left shoulder. Inhale your right arm high. And listen here. Stay for the exhale. As you inhale, let the right fingertips bring you all the way up to a high lunge twist. Sink into the lunge. Let the right hand come to the back of the left thigh. Let the left arm come up and over back behind you. Breathe into the left side body. When you feel ready for your next exhale, gently cartwheel the arms forward, plant the palms, frame the right foot, low lunge. And listen, we're gonna find standing half splits. Then we're gonna find Shiva squat. So bend the right knee and then bend the left knee and bring it behind the right. Beautiful. We'll find a flow with that. Inhale, standing half splits. Exhale, Shiva squats. Just one more time. Your hands are wherever you'd like. Standing half splits. Forward fold. We're in this forward fold for one round of breath. You might find some movement. Come all the way up as you inhale. Press into the feet. That'll bring you there. Hands to your heart as you exhale. Chair on your inhale. Sit deeper as you exhale. Let the hands come wherever you'd like. Bring the weight into the heels. On your next exhale, fold forward. Come up halfway. Fold. Bring your left leg back. High lunge. Feeling strong. Feeling sturdy. Twist to the right. Reach the right hip back. Untwist to center. Plant the palms. Bring the right leg back. Make your way to downward facing dog. Left leg high. Scorpion your dog. Straighten your leg. Step your foot through. Left arm high. Left hand brings you all the way up. Left hand comes to the back of the right thigh. Right arm comes up and over back behind you. Breathe into the right side body. On your next exhale, cartwheel forward, plant the palms. Prepare to find your standing half splits, and then find your standing half splits. On your exhale, Shiva squats, bend both knees, right knee comes behind left. As you inhale, straighten the legs, standing half splits. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Forward fold. A full breath in stillness or movement, whatever feels best for you. Inhale to come up all the way. There's no rush. Exhale to bring the hands to the heart. Take a full breath. Find your chair. Sink into your chair. Inhale to grow tall. Exhale to find drinking bird, lean and fly. Start to lift the heels. Send the fingertips back behind you. Reach the nose toward the toes. Pull in the lower belly. Extra challenge, straighten the legs, lift the hips. Modification, lower the heels. Wherever you are, breathe. Inhale back to chair, lower heels and hips. Raise arms and gaze. Exhale, hands to heart. Sit nice and low. Bring your right elbow outside of your left knee. Press your left hand into your right. Let the thumbs come to the heart. As gracefully as you can, step your right leg back. Find your lunge twist. Gaze past your left elbow. Breathe. Nice and slow, nice and steady. Inhale, unwind, come back to center, raise your arms. Stack your shoulders over your hips. Nice work. Exhale, warrior two, open up. Plant the right foot parallel to the mat. Press into the right pinky toe. Gaze down and make sure your heels are in one line as best you can. And then sink into your left knee, stack the knee over the ankle. Open up the knee, can you see at least the big toe on the left foot? Soften the shoulders, you might play around with the arm placement, the palm orientation. The palms can face whatever direction you'd like. It's okay if you're shaking. Keep the focus on the breath, perhaps counting the breath. Strong warrior twos. Inhale, reverse your warrior, right hand, right thigh, left arm up and over, back behind you. Please feel free to find a sense of buoyancy in that left knee. Straighten the knee, bend the knee. You might find a bind, right hand inside left hip. Taking your time, press in the left foot, straighten left leg. Bring left arm long out in front of you. Reach, 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 reach. And then lower the left arm. Raise the right arm and find triangle. You can gaze at either hand. Keep actively pressing into that right pinky toe. On your next inhale, the right fingertips will bring you back up. Bend the left knee, warrior two. As you exhale, cartwheel the arms forward, plant the palms. Bring the left foot, let both feet point forward. Nice work. Toe heel that left foot to the right hand. Half pigeon. Lower onto the left leg, extend the right leg long back behind you. Gaze back and make sure that the right leg is straight. Come back to center, square the hips. And then it's your choice if you want to stay upright in this active half pigeon. Perhaps bending the right knee. Bringing the right hand back behind you and grabbing the right foot. And gently pulling on that grip. We'll be here for almost a minute. So maybe you'd prefer to find the passive version of the pose and start to fold forward. Allowing yourself to sink into this half pigeon. Sending the breath to any areas of tightness. Taking one last breath. And slowly bringing yourself upright if you weren't already there. And shifting onto that left hip. And bring the right leg long out in front of you. Let the left foot come to the inside of the right leg. And square the torso over to that right leg and flex the right toes toward the face. Inhale to grow tall. Exhale to start to hinge at the hips and fold. We'll be here for 6 breaths. Take your time. Reach the right heel forward. Reach the right hip back. Continue to flex the right toes toward the face. Breathe into the right hamstring. No rush. Carefully crawl the hands back in toward the body. Lift the crown of the head to the sky. And then bend the right knee and plant the right foot outside of the left thigh. Finding a twist, bring your left elbow outside your right knee and your right hand behind you, fingers pointing away. And then gaze back past the right shoulder, pull the lower belly back and up. Using the breath, continuing to grow tall with each inhale. And to stay where you are or deepen the twist with each exhale. Slowly unwind, bring yourself back to center. Bring the legs in front of you, right ankle is on top of left, and then simply plant the feet, plant the hands in front of the feet, and then step or hop back for a high plank. We'll meet in down dog, take or skip the chaturanga. We'll be in this down dog for 3 breaths. Suggestion to pedal out the dog, bend one knee and then the other. Suggestion to shake the head, yes and no, to roll the neck in circles. We'll do that same thing on the other side, and then we'll come to lying on our backs. Inhale, bend the knees and gaze at the hands. Exhale, step or hop. Inhale, press into the feet and come up all the way. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, chair. Bend the knees, sink into the hips. Place the arms wherever you'd like. Bring the weight into the heels. Big inhale first. Drinking bird as you exhale, lean, fly, maybe lift heels, maybe lift hips and straighten legs. Pull in the lower belly. Reach the fingertips back. Reach the nose toward the toes. Chair as you inhale, lower heels and hips. Raise arms and gaze. Hands to heart as you exhale, sit nice and low. Left elbow outside right knee. Right hand presses into left, thumbs go toward heart. Whenever you feel ready, as gracefully as you can, that left foot will reach far back behind you. You'll find your high lunge prayer twist. Using your next inhale, you'll unwind, raise the arms, and find your high lunge. Got a little wobbly. In your own time, you'll open up and find warrior 2. Widening stance, bending right knee, and opening it up. Feeling free to play around with palm orientation. Noticing the difference in the shoulder stretch. Or maybe it feels nice to place one hand on heart, one hand on belly or lower back. Close the eyes. Sense of intimacy for just a moment. Wherever you are, breathe. Checking in, noticing how strong you are. Open up the arms if they aren't already. Press into the left pinky toe. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Left hand, left thigh. Right arm up and over, back behind you, and then same thing as the other side. Please remember, you can totally bend that right knee and straighten it again. Just finding a sense of buoyancy for a moment, checking in, and giving yourself what you need. Maybe finding a bind with the left hand and bringing it to the inside of the right hip. Last big inhale, reach fingertips further back behind you. And then find triangle, straighten right leg. Bring right arm long out in front of you. Reach, 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 reach. And then lower the right arm. And you might lift the left arm. You might lift the gaze. You might lift the right pec. You're in between two panes of glass here. Warrior two, when you're ready, left fingertips bring you up, right knee bends. Exhale, cartwheel forward, plant palms. Bring right foot, left foot points forward. Low lunge. Half pigeon, toe heel the right foot to the left wrist, and lower the right knee down to the right wrist. And use the left toes as leverage to give yourself a lot of length in that left leg. And just some reminders here, you can totally just fold into the pose whenever you're ready. Gaze back and make sure the leg is straight. Square the hips, so perhaps right hip reaches back ever so slightly. And either growing tall first and then folding using your breath. We're here for a while. Or maybe bending the left knee, grabbing the left foot, and gently pulling on that grip. There's plenty of time to do both the active and the passive versions of the pose. We're here for one last breath. Slowly bring yourself to an upright position. Shift over onto your right hip. Bring your left leg long out in front of you. Your right foot comes to the inside of your left leg. Square your torso over to that left leg. Flex the left toes toward the face. Inhale, grow tall. Exhale, start to hinge at the hip and fold forward. Inhale, grow tall. Exhale, hinge forward. Left heel reaches forward. Left hip reaches back. Left toes flex toward face. Breathe into the left hamstring. Please feel free to bend the left knee if you need to. Inhale, crawl the hands back in toward the body. Lift the crown of the head. Bend the left knee and then plant the left foot outside of the right thigh. Bring the right elbow to the outside of the left knee. The left hand behind you. Fingers point away. Gaze back past the left shoulder. Pull the lower belly back and up. Gently unwind. Bring yourself to center. Bring the feet in front of you. The left ankle is on top of the right this time. Scooch up to the front of the mat if you weren't already there. So your bum is in the middle, your feet are at the front. Lift the legs, bring the hands underneath the knees. And then just simply rock back and forth as many times as feels good to you. And eventually make your way to lying on your mat. You're welcome to uncross the ankles if you'd prefer. Once you're lying on your back, make sure your head is on the mat for comfort, so scooch down if you need to until it is. Keep your knees in your chest, bring your hands onto your knees and start to roll your lower back in circles. You get to choose how big those circles are, how fast they are, perhaps lingering on one side, giving yourself a little massage in the tight areas. Now's a great time to switch direction of the circles. Bring yourself back to center and find stillness and take a moment to check in. Remembering everything I say is a suggestion, remembering that this is your practice, listening to your body, and finding any movements that you would like. Cross right knee over left. Lift the head and the shoulders and the upper back. Bring the left hand to the outside of the right foot. Bring the right hand to the outside of the left foot. Gently pull on the grip and lower onto your shoulders and your head. You might send your breath to the right hip. Maybe this is too intense and you gently remove your grip, uncross your legs and find happy baby. Maybe this feels really nice and you rock back and forth and give your lower back a little massage. If you have the grip of the outside of the feet, very carefully remove the grip. Uncross the right knee and bring the left knee on top of the right. Lifting if you need to. Grabbing the outside of the opposite foot. Pulling on the grip, lowering down. Breathing into the left hip, perhaps. Noticing the difference between the two sides, maybe. Slowly coming out of it if you need to. Gently pulling on the grip more if you'd like to. Carefully remove your grip. Uncross your knee. Find a traditional happy baby. Lift the feet toward the sky. Flex the toes. Bring the hands to the outside of the feet or the ankles or the calves. Pull on that grip, bringing the knees toward the armpits. Pressing into the lower back. Finding some movement if that feels nice for you. Perhaps straightening one leg and then the other. Preparing yourself for your final resting pose. It might feel nice to curl up into a ball, bring the knees to the chest, wrap the arms around the legs. Bring the forehead to the knees, grip opposite elbows. Take a big inhale, squeezing all the muscles in the body, all the muscles in the face. Fill up at the end of the inhale. And then open mouth exhale and slowly lower onto your back, your shoulders, your head. And release one arm at a time. And extend one leg long at a time. Lift the upper back, lower it down. Get out any last movements here, any last wiggles. Bring yourself to complete stillness. If there are any last movements that you want to take before your final resting pose, that's quite all right. It's your practice. For the sake of time, you might like to take your final resting pose now. And just a reminder that it doesn't have to look any certain way. I took you to corpse pose, but you might take Supta Baddha Konasana or a knee knock pose. You might like to lay on your belly. If you are feeling super cozy in your final resting pose and you would like to stay there, please feel free. We can close out practice together wherever you are. If you prefer to make your way to a seat, take your time deepening your breath, finding tiny micro movements in the body, and gently rolling over onto one side. Pressing up into a seat. Keeping your eyes closed if that's comfortable for you. Placing your hands anywhere that feels special to you. And taking a moment to thank yourself for your practice. I appreciate you sharing your practice with me, allowing me to share my practice with you, helping the Woodlawn Yoga community exist. Thank you.